Hello, my dear students. This is P. Venkateshwarlu, PGT Physics. Introduction: Electrostatics. Electro means electric field. Static means still that does not move. Electrostatics is the branch of science which study of force fields and potentials arising from the static charges. In this chapter, we will learn about properties of electric charges and fields. After completing this video, the student will able to understand electric charge and its basic properties, explain the Coulomb's law, understand the electric field, calculate the electric field, understand electric field lines, define the electric flux, define electric dipole and its expression, explain Gauss theorem and its application, frictional electricity. What happened when amber rubbed with wool or silk cloth? In 600 BC, the Greek philosopher Thales observed that when amber rubbed with wool, it acquires the property attracting object to such a small bits of paper, dry leaves, dust particles, etc. Amber rod. So amber means yellow fossil gum. This type of electricity developed on the objects when they are rubbed with suitable materials is called frictional electricity by rubbing. Attraction and repulsion. A famous American scientist Benjamin Franklin introduced concepts of positive and negative charges. He observed that when two glass rods rubbed with wool or silk cloth brought close to each other, they repel each other. When two plastic rods rubbed with silk are brought close to each other, they repel each other. When glass rod rubbed with silk cloth and plastic rod brought close to each other, plastic rod attract the glass rod. From the activities, we can conclude that the like charges repel each other, whereas unlike charges attract each other. Electric charge. Yes. Electric charge is the additional property of proton and electrons which give rise to electric force between them. Electric charge is a scalar quantity. Means a scalar quantity means having only magnitude, not direction. A proton passes positive charge while an electron passes an equal negative charge where E is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulomb. Detecting charge on the body. A simple apparatus used to detect charge on the body is gold leaf experiment. Is the gold leaf electroscope. So gold leaf experiment apparatus contain wooden base, glass jar, gold leaves, brass rod, ebonite stopper, metallic disc, tin foil cover, Let's check whether the given glass rod is charged or uncharged with the help of a gold leaf electroscope. As the rod comes to near the ebonite rod, the charge from the metal disc passes on to the gold leaves and the leaves moves apart from each other. This shows that given rod is charged. Conductors, the substances which allow electricity to pass through them easily are called conductors. For example, all metals like copper, silver, aluminum, and human animals, bodies, etc., are good conductors of electricity. So, by changing these materials, we can observe that the electric current passing through this. From this, we can say the materials which allows electric current is called conductors. Properties of conductors. Conductors have electrons that can move freely inside the material. When some charge is transferred to a conductor, it radially gets distributed over the entire surface of the conductor. When a charged body is brought in contact with the earth, all the excess charges on the body passes to the ground. This process is known as earthing. Insulators. The substance which do not allow electricity to pass through them easily are called insulators. Glass, wood, plastic, these are insulators. Properties of insulators. Most of the non-metals such as wood, nylon are example for insulators. If some charge is put on the insulator, then it stay the same place and will not spread. Experiment. A conductor may be charged permanently by induction process in the following step. Metal rod and insulating stand, positive charges glass rod. Take the conducting sphere AB with insulating stand and bring a positively charged glass rod close to it. The end A of a conductor becomes negatively charged as the positively charged rod attracts electron from the sphere, while the far end B becomes positively charged as positively charged repels positive. This process of inducing charge in a conductor without actual touching of the charged body and uncharged body is called induction of charge. Induction of charge. Now, connect the conductor to the earth. The positive charges induced will disappear. The negative induced at the end of A and conductor remains bound to its due to the attractive force exerted by the positive glass rod. Disconnect the conductor from the earth, keeping the glass rod still in its position. The end A of the conductor continues to hold the negative induced charge. Remove the glass rod. The negative induced charge and the near ended of sphere spread uniformly over the whole conductor. In this experiment, the material sphere gets charged by the process induction and the rod does not lose any of its charges. We have discussed two types of charges, positive and negative. Point charge. If the charged body size is very small in comparison to the distance between them, then we are treat them as a point charge. Some of the properties of electric charge are as follows. Additive nature of charge. The total electric charge on object is given by the algebraic sum of all electric charges distributed on the different parts of the object. Consider a system of n of the charges q1, q2, and so on qn. Then total charge on the system is q is equal to q1 plus q2 plus q3 plus and so on n qn. Charge is conserved. For an isolated system of many charged bodies interacting with each other due to their interaction of charges of the bodies may get distributed, but it is found that the total charge on the system remains conserved or constant. Okay. So revision completed, but for understanding this type of animation, okay, you very well about this. For example, consider an isolated system of charge 2C, 5C, 8C, 1C, 2 coulomb, 5 coulomb, 8 coulomb, and 1 coulomb. According to additive property, the total charge of the system 2 plus 5 plus 8 plus 1, 16 coulombs. 16 coulombs, my dear children. Due to the interaction among themselves, redistribution of charge take place and charge becomes 4C, 2C, 6C. Now the total charge of the system 4 plus 4 plus 2 plus 6, 16 coulombs. And again redistribution take place. So now we can get 4, 4, 4, 4 like that. Quantization of charge. All of the observable charges are some integral multiple of elementary charge. E is equal to 1.6 into 10 power minus 19 coulombs. Positive and negative charge 2E 0.1 E, 4E 1 by 2E. See possible charges, impossible charges. Okay, so the charge it should not be 1 by 2, 3 by 2 like that. This is known as quantization of charge. The charge exists as the integral multiple of E. Look at the table to understand it clearly. Coulomb's law is the law of forces between the electric charges. Statement. This law states that any two stationary point charges q1 and q2 placed a certain distance apart will repel or attract each other with a force F which is directly proportional to the product of charges and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Mathematical expression. Consider two point charge q1 and q2 separated by distance or in vacuum. The magnitude of force is acting between them. According to the Coulomb's law of force F is directly proportional to the product of the magnitude of the charges. So according to that, F is directly proportional to Q1 and Q2 and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. F is directly proportional to 1 by R square. Now, F is directly proportional to Q1, Q2 divided by R square. By removing proportionality, F is equal to K into Q1 Q2 divided by R square, where K is force constant, that K is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught when these charges are located in vacuum. Epsilon naught means absolute permittivity or permittivity of free space. That value is 8.854 into 10 power minus 12 Coulomb square Newton inverse meter power minus 2. We know that 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 1 by 4 into 3.14 into 8.854 into 10 power minus 12. It becomes 9 into 10 power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square, Newton meter square C power minus 2. Also we can write equation 1 as F vacuum, electrostatic force of attraction in vacuum, 9 into 10 power 9 into Q1 Q2 by R square. Force between multiple charges are vector form of Coulomb's law. Consider two point charges Q1 and Q2 at the point with the position vectors R1 and R2 with respect to the origin. The magnitude of unit vectors R12 and R21 are as the follows. Yes, Coulomb's law can be expressed as F21 is equal to force on Q2 due to Q1. F21 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square 121 R21 cap. F12 is equal to force on Q1 due to Q2. F12 4 by 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R12 whole square R21 is equal to F minus 21. We can see that both these forces are equal magnitude in opposite nature. Electric field. Electric field, it is defined as the space around the charge in which any other charges experiences an electrostatic force. Electric field intensity. The electric field intensity at a point due to a source charge is defined as the force experienced per unit positive test charge placed at that point without distributing the source of charge. According to this, E bar is equal to F bar by Q naught. Q naught is test charge. E bar is electric field intensity. F is equal to force experienced by the test charge Q naught. Its SI unit is Newton Coulomb inverse. Electric field due to point charge. We have to find the electric field at a point P due to point charge. Charge plus Q placed at the origin such that OP bar is equal to R bar. To find the same place, a very small positive test charge Q naught at the point P. According to Coulomb's law, force on the test charge Q naught due to charge Q is F bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q into Q naught by R square. If E bar is the electric field at point P, then E bar is equal to limit Q naught tends to 0 F bar by Q naught. That is equal to electric field due to a point charge E bar is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square r cap 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r cubed into r bar. So that is vector form. So that magnitude of the electric field at point P is given by E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. Electric field due to a system of charges. Consider that n points charges q1, q2, q3 and so on qn exert forces F bar 1, F2 bar, F3 bar and so on Fn respectively on the test charge placed at the origin O. Let F1 bar be the force due to ith charge Qy on the Q0. Then F bar 1 is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Qy Q0 by Ri square Ri cap, where n is the where r is the distance of the test charge from q0, qy the electric field at the observation point P is given by. So that equation, if E is the electric field at a point P due to the system of charges, then by principle of superposition of electric field states that the total electric field will be the sum of total all fields. E bar is equal to E1 bar plus E2 bar plus and so on, that is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 to n Ei bar. Using equation 1, we obtain E bar is equal to sigma I is equal to 1 n 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Qy by Ri square. Coming to electric field lines. An electric field lines of force is defined as the path along which unit positive charge would move if it is allowed. Properties of electric lines of force. These lines start from the positive charge and end at the negative charge. They can never intersect each other because intersection implies that a particular point electric field has directions in which is not possible. They do not pass through a conductor. They contract longitudinally. They exert lateral pressure on each other. Fixed lines are exerting electric flux. It is defined as the rate of flow of electric charge through a given area. It is denoted by phi. The number of electric field lines passing through unit area is called electric flux. Mathematically, electric flux of the electric field through a chosen surface is given by delta phi is equal to E dot delta S. See the surface, normal vector and E area vector. D phi is equal to E ds cos theta. It is a scalar product, where E is the electric field, delta S is surface area, theta angle between E and delta S. The direction of area vector is always perpendicular to the surface being chosen. Thus, electric flux is a measure of lines of force passing through the surface held in the electric field. The total flux through the surface S is phi is equal to integration of EDS, surface integration of EDS. Two integrals is the expression represent that integral is taken over certain area.